Hello everyone and welcome to the evening's conversation on the presentation Secrets of Steve. Okay, we're just going to open up to a random page, which we've already done. And we want to read the number one reason people buy. People can buy your intelligence, your modern day it's intellectual property. Buy what you're selling doesn't initially mean a product. However, a product, like, it's so interesting because Apple is its own entity of its brand. However, the way people utilize brand these days, it's a person is the product. Buying what they're selling, which would really be corruption because people aren't products, that's called trafficking. So people are actually trafficking themselves. Especially when you're lying to an audience and you're working off of a stage, like a script of acting, while pretending for it to be real. That's so freaking illegal. Okay, number one reason people buy. Your customers are always mindful of budget. How would that incorporate in budget on what you're selling when it comes to intellectual property? Well, that would be selling energy. I don't trust them. I don't believe them. I don't understand that. It's too much work to understand that. It's too much work to initiate it. So the mindfulness of a budget, you're probably going to lean toward the easiest path to make yourself some cash so that you can go buy money, which is buying product, like real product, like hair and makeup. And so that's the budget. It's very complex for those that are unintelligent or not intelligent or just not there yet, because everybody is. In the old days, we would say that everybody is where they're at. But in tough economic times, they are even more so. Tough economic times would tell you that they're more likely to buy what you're selling if they're selling you a free ride to an uplift. That would be everything Kamala Harris presented in her conversation about the Bing situation, which is completely unethical and illegal, and actually is stealing from a brand, which I'm have evidence of that, as well as the context of which you live, as well as living in possibility, all stolen brand imaging from spirituality lessons, which is completely unethical when it comes to politics. You don't sell intellectual property when you're becoming a vice president or you're trying to become president. You're selling, if you want to talk in the form of selling, you're selling your ideas on policy, because emotions don't belong in politics, because the Middle East are not emotional. They're literally working off of money. And so you cannot weaken your country so that you can win an election. That's illegal. That's unethical. That's terrorism. That's tyranny. That's actually tyranny. If you want to take a look at that a little closer, you can take looks at Donald Trump, even when he had Hulk Hogan, and you can go take a look at what Kamala Harris did at her rallies. And there's a distinct difference in the way they speak and the way they talk about policy and in the way they're performing, because we had Kid Rock, and then over at Kamala's rallies, it's a bunch of repro freedom, lacking intelligence, only caring for the demise of society with no solutions and no answers to any questions. And that's tyranny. Plus you have influencers over there with Kamala, and you have leaders on the stage, specifically speaking to the Republican National Convention. However, you want to remind yourself, take a look at the 12-year-old and the college students that they had over on the Kamala Harris side and how violent they've been. All you have to do is go watch Harry Sisner in his live and you'll see violence. Prospects do not want to act as a beta group. Let's read that again. But in tough economic times, they are even more so, casting a critical eye on every last dollar. Prospects, that means that's FOMO. Prospects do not want to act as a beta group. So for example, with my content, you actually work and you are taking risks. if you do the work, and they don't want to be the test studies because there's so many women out there who are vile, violent criminals who will destroy them in their growth of into being a secure human being of self-awareness, but they don't want to do the work that it takes to become a secure human being. They want to take it fast, where they have plastic surgery and Botox and all those shallow things the devil tells you that they use the words God wants you to have these things. God doesn't want you to have those things. They tell you that to get you to buy what they're selling. Your product must deliver what it promises. Are you learning how to eat clean off of Monavan's product sales? No, which makes it a Ponzi scheme. Saving your customers money, making them money, or providing the tools to make more efficient use of the money they have. Are you learning anything of finance when you watch Nicole Lapin? Are you learning anything at all from anybody's platform, or are they just gossiping and destroying your mental stability? Saving your customers money. No, they want you to spend money, making them money. You don't make money, they take from you. Or providing the tools to make more efficient use of the money you have. They triple and quadruple the cost of a pair of sunglasses to where they make six figures. So they pay pennies on the dollar to sweatshops out of China, and then they brag about it in a testimonial of what they claim they learned by watching a certain individual by reselling it on eBay for over 1,000% profit by charging $15.99 for a pair of sunglasses that cost them $1. Testimonials and endorsements are persuasive because, as discussed earlier, word of mouth is the number one influencer of purchasing decisions. So that in itself is self-explanatory, word of mouth, but they don't believe in the product that they're selling. So they'll tell you that they believe in something, but they only say they believe in that thing because they want to make money off of you, but they've never used the product a day in their life, and that's also illegal. So for example, the Coconut Cult product that's going around, I don't know anything about that product, but I do know that there's several influencers out there who are clearly not interested in that style of product. However, because they're getting paid, they're willing to sell out their souls to make money off of pretending they like the product. Successful companies know what a pool of reputable and satisfied customers is critical for sales success. That is the scheme of the Ponzi, meaning Gary Vee and Monavan, they all show up with Ken Cook. Ken Cook knows the environmental awareness of CleanCon. Monavan's been to the CleanCon, then all these people have been to the CleanCon, and then Gary Vee's going down to Miami, and Valeria's going to be there, and Valeria and Monavan made a video together, and that is what you think is reputable based on the fact that they have money. In fact, some companies have some specific employees whose job it is to gather case studies and distribute them to their prospects. So that would be taking a product such as what John Legend's wife did and sending out the product to all her friends who are all rich celebrities and sending them out to distribute them as prospects to put on their platforms to sell to trusting customers, but you pay for it, they have the money, and they don't pay for it, they get everything for free. And then they do it for each other. Most small business owners do not have the resources to designate a case study specialist, but they can easily adopt some of the techniques used by the world's most successful companies. So they have all the money in the world to do marketing, spread their voices, and then do anything they can to block out middle-class individuals who actually are hardworking Americans while they're from Persia. One proven strategy is to steal a page from the Apple's playbook and invite the customer to share the spotlight, either in person on video or at the very least through quotes. That's definitely something that these people utilize as far as scheming, because there's no good intention behind anything that they do. So it's not like you're trying to educate an audience. It's all about product sales. It's all about intellectual property to get everybody to agree that the new norm is to fake a relationship to destroy relationships between men and women, while women try to be in charge, but they don't do the work that it takes to be in charge, which means that they're trying to destroy the planet. Don't forget the media. Sharing the stage with publications that rave about your product will bolster your message. Jobs had a love-hate relationship with the media for his presentation purposes. There was a lot of love in the room in the first few minutes of the Macworld 2008 keynote address. Jobs announced that